I just thought this was a way that we could kind of help articulate from highly accomplished athletes who care about the sport of grid, like how the comparison is. I'm not looking to, pump grid up or anything. I'm just trying to make a real world comparison so that people have a realistic understanding of what the differences are and what it might feel like to be involved or not. And really just paint a better picture, because that's one of our biggest challenges.
Okay.
So what I'm hoping to do first is to give people that don't know an understanding of what you guys have done in the past athletically. I know neither one of you are like the braggy type, but we're really looking for everything. Like, did you play team sports in the past? How many
Taylor's
times?
going to be here a while. She's got a lot to say. She's done a lot of things. I'll be quick.
A little bit of everything.
I did one thing 3 times. Like, she's done like 100 different things. Like, anyway.
Does band count?
Yeah, she's gonna go through.
Well, let's start with you.
I played the tuba.
Have at it.
I played the oboe.
Tuba for time. Oboe for time. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh gosh. Well, it all started.
Do we look at that or do we look at you?
We're just having a combo, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done. Stop. This is awkward. I have done basketball, volleyball, track and field. Did track and field at the University of South Florida. Transitioned to powerlifting. Found CrossFit through an expired group hunt and went to regionals a few times. Found grid. Did grid for 3 years. Is that how long it's been?
3 years. Yeah.
3 years. And now I'm doing weightlifting, and yeah, that's the condensed version.
So, how far did you get in powerlifting and weightlifting?
Powerlifting, at one time I held 10 world records in 4 different weight classes. Did that for 5 years, so competed pretty competitively there.
I would say so. And then how about Olympic lifting?
Olympic lifting, I won the 2017 National Championships for my weight class, 75 kilos. I placed, my highest placing in regionals was 5th in 2014.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then grid, we won grid twice.
Right.
First ever MVP. And
not too shabby.
Excuse me.
done a few things.
All right, awesome. So how about you, Danielle? And start back, because I know you got a little bit of history in the back.
Like before CrossFit?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before that, like just growing up, all kinds of sports. I played a lot of things, but in high school, flag football. And then I did cross country too, and I did that my freshman year in college. And then I started CrossFit to help with my cross country and my half marathons. And then I found out CrossFit was way more fun. And I'm short and stocky, so I was way better built for squatting than I was running. And then, I don't know, I started competing in that. And then that was like 2010. And then with CrossFit, I went to regionals, I think 4 times on a team. And we went to the games 3 times on a team. And with Grid, I think 2 years with Miami Surge. But even before that, I did the Southern Amateur Grid League.
Oh, yeah.
I remember those good old days. The Orlando Outlaws, pew pew. And where she coached for like 2 days. And we only had 1 match, and then
we had
Is that
like
how you
6
guys
people.
met?
Yeah.
well, we knew each other before that. But then she happened to be the coach, and then
6-7 people can come from the Outlaws.
a bunch of people from the Outlaws got drafted. We only had 1 match in South Carolina, and that was a mess.
Right.
And then after that, the whole thing like just canceled. I don't know, it was weird. And then everybody got like drafted. Half the team got drafted to the Pro Grid League. And then I was with Miami Surge for 2 years. And then more CrossFit. And then now we're Florida Grid League.
So at the games, where'd you place each year? Roughly?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
You said flag football, track and field, what else?
I did cross country, which is like the opposite of flag football, because one is like fast twitch and
Right,
one is
right.
super slow.
I was thinking about that.
That's so weird. I don't know. Very diverse. So yeah, cross country. So long distance running, so like 5Ks to half marathons,
Right.
and then flag football. So like half the year I was fast, and the other half the year I was slow. So
Well, so the
yeah,
2 consistencies I see is like a wide range
yeah.
of athletic kind of endeavors, both from different types of sports in the past to a more fitness-based career where weightlifting and CrossFit.
Yeah.
So pretty diverse backgrounds. So how does, let's take what you guys are probably most known for, which is your accomplishments in weightlifting and your accomplishments in CrossFit, compare those specifically to the sport of grid itself. Like, what are the similarities? What are the differences? What do you value from each? Those kinds of things.
One thing I would say about what I do in just powerlifting, Olympic lifting, whatever it is that it's a specialty sport. So grid, it lets you focus on what you do best. And even if you can do everything else, if you're just a freak at something else, you can go out there and showcase that. So it's been great to be able to show my weightlifting side and powerlifting side out there.
Okay, when you're competing in grid.
Yeah.
Okay. But what about the experience of like the actual competition?
It's better.
Yeah, it's so much
Way
better
more
in grid.
fun.
Yeah, it's boring. Weightlifting, powerlifting is boring because you go out there, for weightlifting you do 6 lifts, and powerlifting you do 9 lifts, and you're just sitting around listening. Powerlifting, you listen to people like heavy metal, hard rock stuff. You can't even listen to yourself think. It's boring.
And in CrossFit, you row a marathon. So, I mean,
Exactly. Grid is
who wants to train? Who wants to do that? Like,
yeah, it's fast. It's quick. You're literally racing. You get to see how close you are with somebody else. It's so much more exciting.
you don't have to train like long endurance, like that boring like bitch work that people hate to do. You know, like the miles of running and the thousands of meters of rowing and like all the like the long endurance capacity stuff. It's more just like the short sprint work, so just like anaerobic work, but also just the things that you're good at. So you don't have to constantly work your weaknesses over and over and over to be better at it, because you need to be well-rounded. So this is like, if you have a lot of weaknesses, Grid's probably better for you, because you only have to do the good things you're really, really good at, and then just train those really good things and be even better at them than somebody else. So I mean, that's cool. And it's a sport where like if you're shorter, sometimes it's better too, because like little tiny athletes that are very short and very light in CrossFit probably can't move a lot of weight very easily. So, or maybe, well, in powerlifting it's with weights, so that's better. But in CrossFit, like a lot of short little girls can't do very well unless they put a lot of mass on. So in grid, they're actually amazing with gymnastics specialists. So they're going to be the shortest, fastest cyclers on, you know, chest to bars and handstand push-ups and all those crazy little things. And they'll probably have the best body awareness to pick up the weird stuff too, like the back roll to supports and the back up rise. And so, I mean, it really benefits them too. And on the other end too, like if you're really, really heavy and you're not good at cardio and you hate running, you really don't have to run. I mean, you're just like running like 20 feet and then back. So, but you don't have to worry about like really having that much cardio, because you're just going to go move a barbell around like really fast, which is probably lightweight for a lot of them if they're really strong. And then that's it. They don't have to do any handstand push-ups or gymnastics or anything. So
it's a freak sport. It's literally like a circus for fitness people.
Yeah.
So and I tell people all the time, like, I love CrossFit and everything, but there's a lot of amazing athletes out there that will never make it to regionals that you won't even hear about. So as Grid League came around, it just resurfaced all these freak athletes, and like, where did this person come from? And I didn't know that this person can do that. Like, how in the world did they lift that? Or so it just shows all these what the body is capable of doing.
Yeah, one of the things I'm most proud about in just even the Florida Grid League is, you know, everybody in it that's been a part of the league in any way, whether they've come to a few matches or they've competed, knows who like Jeff Ochoa is, you know, or they know who Abby from the Brigade is, or Pal from the Freaks is, you know, because they're such specialist athletes that the things that they do, when you see it, you're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Jeff is like a big dude out there, like, you know, but he's competing athletically, jumping over boxes and moving weight easier than everybody else, and everybody's impressed by that. And otherwise, they might not have the ability to showcase what they're really good at in a way. So I really like that aspect of it.
And another thing that would be awesome, or that is awesome too, is just the community aspect of it, because it gets a bunch of people that are local together to train that wouldn't normally have done that. You know, like we combined people from a bunch of different gyms that got used to training together, and that's still like, we all still talk in group chats. We also like, you know, talk shit online, and like we'll train together more even moving forward, because we spend so much time together. So it was another reason to just bring a lot of people in the area together that can also like maybe make other teams for other local comps now, because they know how each other works and they've already built that brotherhood. So that was another thing that's just nice too, is just having that family kind of built through it.
So you both mentioned that you feel like the activity of grid in the competition is more fun than what you've done in the past. But you get like a feeling of accomplishment from those. And that's really the big payoff. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm kind of guessing here, but because I've never done anything like that. But when you win something in weightlifting, it's not the actual competition itself experience, it's the accomplishment of placing where you did compared to everybody else, right? And then for you to make it to the games is such an elite thing to do, like such a tiny percentage of the population that CrossFit makes it there, it's a proud thing. Is that the main drive and motivation for you guys to compete at that level? Because the training every day is hard, So I want to dig into like what's the payoff for you guys to why you do that, and why, like, what's the give back that you get?
And actually, in all of the different sports, it's a different focus, and I'm doing it for a different reason. For grid, it wasn't just about me, and like I wanted to be better for my team. Whereas everything else I've done has been very individualized. Because I want to be in charge of what I do, of my own success. So I wanted to be first in weightlifting or make it to the games or whatever. It was more individual. But for grid, I didn't want to let my team down. So my focus shift from myself to I don't want to screw up them. I wanted us to be first. So it was a little bit different focus because now that's a team sport.
Gotcha. I mean, did my question make sense as far as like, when you train all the time to make it to the games, like what is it you take away from the games that you value that you do it again? You know what I mean?
I mean, just being there is kind of just one thing. Like we like just being able to go and be there and compete in it. And we want to do well, but really just the experience of being there is part of it. And just the journey to get there is part of the fun, even though it's terrible and it's a lot of work and it's not fun, it is fun. That's kind of what makes it worth it too. But we've never really gone saying like, oh, we're gonna go win the games, because I don't
it's
know.
the experience of
it's more just
competing at the highest level.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just being able to compete with all those people.
Right.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like for me, like I visualized, I've thought a lot about this. It would be cool, like when you're older and maybe you have a couple kids and you're like, this was your mom back in the day competing at the highest level.
I try to think about that, and I'm like, maybe I should go like save pictures from my Instagram and stuff and make
Yes,
this
you
little
should.
book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because what if all that stuff goes away one day? I'm like, in like 20 years from now, I want to go show my kids like, hey, look, I did some cool stuff when I was younger. So,
I'm cool too.
I was kind of, your mom was kind of cool, so maybe.
No, I think that's awesome. But so compared to what we are, like I have no disillusion. Like we're just starting out, right? We're just building this from the bottom up. We're not doing it for the glory, right? There is no competing at the highest level. We are the level at this point, where grid is right now. So what is the reason you guys chose to contribute your time to be a part of it? Mainly without that big payoff is what I'm saying.
I love the sport. Like,
It's just fun.
yeah, it's
I mean, our
exciting.
team lost every match this season, so I think they knew we weren't going to win $20,000 even like halfway through the match, and they still were more motivated every week, like getting further and further and further. And the more they started understanding more things and getting more into it, they were more driven to do it. It's not because we were going to win a championship at the end. It was more just because we wanted to win and because we just wanted to be better than the other team. So it was just fun to do it. So that was pretty much it.
And like just you said it earlier, just the relationships that you build. Like my experience this year was completely different than my experience last year, and the group of athletes that I have this year, they're a family. They legit got an Airbnb for the weekend. We still have our own group text threads and everything. They form teams and they talking about going up to Delaware because we have an athlete from Delaware doing competitions up there. Like they legit formed a family.
And I remember that from the search too. Like that's the group chat is like one of my favorite things about being on a team.
I remember
it's
our
so
one
fun and
Airbnb
funny.
we had too for like 2 weeks, and we were all crammed in this one house.
Yeah.
Oh man, we were all like sharing.
And I always regret not
tight.
having a camera in that house too.
Oh my god, that was so fun. We had like a hot tub, we had a pool, we had everything. It was great. But yeah, like that family was fun. That was like one of the best parts. Cause like you spend, I mean, with the surge, like you were with them all day for like 2 whole weeks, you know. So it's a little different. We were very, very tight because we just woke up and slept and did everything together. But yeah, just like it's similar.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite aspects about the sport, honestly, is, and it's one of the things that we want to try and do more of at the Florida Grid League level, is have just time to be together for teams, because that's ultimately what people take away is like, I'll always remember that time, you know what I mean, and the relationships that I built and being part of that team, working together. But the kind of the last thing, do you know what time it is?
11:36.
Okay. Well, one of the things that you guys are so good at and is somewhat unique to the teams in this league, and I don't know if it's a coincidence you both came from the pros and you kind of had an experience of what works and what didn't. You know, we had different experiences on the team from a leadership level. You had more consistency, but the reality is, like, you both met a ton of adversity this year in planning your teams. You got into the game really late. You had to kind of throw your team together, and then you had a lot of people run into conflicts last minute. You had people signed up,
drop out, and get
drop out for various reasons, deployed, moving away.
We lost so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's one of the hard parts about the team experience is you've got a group of people that there's bound to be conflicts with one way or another, whether it's something happening in their life, there's a personality conflict, something isn't what they expected, whatever it is. That's part of the team experience, right? So both of your teams were two of the most committed teams, the most enthusiastic, the most positive teams when it comes to a presence when they came into the room, the interviews after the matches, just my interactions with them on a daily basis, and other people I've heard from the fans. So it's something to be very proud of, but what's your secret to that? How did you accomplish that, even though neither one of you had, like, you know, neither one of you had great records?
You say anything about it, I swear to God. Yeah. You're like in the corner, giving them a look, like they're like looking at Mather, but I'm behind them like, you dare. I'm like, and they're like, okay, Mather was fine.
We love each other.
I don't know. I think we just got good people.
I let them know on day one. I set everybody down, and I told them, very first thing I told them, I'm like, look, the first thing I'm not going to tolerate is bullshit. I'm like, this is a team sport. We're family first. So I'm like, if whatever I put down on the game plan, if you guys don't like it or don't agree with something, come talk to me. I don't, energy is everything. So if you walk around with energy and negative energy, it's going to affect everybody else around you. So I'm like, I won't tolerate that, and I will have you leave. So I set the foundation first and foremost, so they knew my expectations, and there wasn't me trying to make up for it, like, well, you should have do that later on. Like, well, you haven't been acting that way from the beginning. So I laid the foundation first, and they respected that, and the people that I kind of had issues that kind of was going in that negative direction, we quickly parted, just so it wasn't that type of negative energy that still stayed on there. So, and I was very transparent with them. I wasn't trying to hide anything, and they were transparent back with me, and I offered that open communication. So I think it was like a mutual respect from coach and athlete on my side.
So obviously you're different personalities, you came at it in different ways. How did you come at the whole coaching experience?
They came in, like, some of them have done grid 6, so they had an understanding already, like, you know, that the benefit is of the team and not the individual. So I didn't really ever have to have a conversation with them about anything, like, this is how we're going to do whatever. Because I didn't have to, they came in and they were willing to voluntarily sit something out if they knew that they weren't the right one for it. They're like, look, I can do that, but if I'm not the fastest, that's fine. Like, don't even play me if someone's better, you know. They kind of came in and automatically said that, and some of the others have just been on teams already. So, and I think I was just pretty real with them from the beginning, and I wasn't very strict and dominating, and if they had ideas, I always listened to their ideas, and I went with them a lot of the time. Or I'd sit down and, like, we'd write everything out. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm thinking, like, what do you think? And, like, we'd have, like, a whole conversation back and forth. So, but a lot of times, like, they would come up with their own version of something and send me videos of it, and they're like, we tried it this way, what do you think? And, like, they video and show it. I'm like, that's a great idea, like, let's do that. So, like, we went a lot with it, so it felt like everybody was coaching and playing in a way, and not just I was there just, like, yelling at them all the time, and I never really had to. And I would just nicely just ask people sometimes for things. I'd just be like, hey, do you think you can do whatever? And usually they're like, yeah, no problem. So I would never had to be, like, strict or tough on them. I was just pretty real. Or I'd be like, hey, you know what, this race really sucks, guys. Like, it is what it is. Like, the triad's terrible. Just suck it up. We're just going to get through it. You know, and so it's not like, I don't know. It's just, I was just pretty real and open. And I'm like, this is what it is. I did this too at one point. I remember I had to do that, and that. I was like, you can do it too. And we just sucked it up and did it. But I think just having that open conversation with everybody, like, you know, let me know your ideas. I'm going to listen to them. I'm not going to be like, no, idea's stupid as hell. Like, why would you bring that up? I think that was it. I don't want
to make it seem like this is it's like a dictatorship.
Right.
No. But a lot of my athletes, they didn't even know what grid was until, like, I asked them to do it. They're like, what's grid? So, like, 2 weeks before our first match, a lot of people were still trying to figure out what grid was. Yeah. And then so a lot of my returning aces helped me out, like Sean and Alex, and they came like, hey, I remember this from the last match. We did this. I'm like, oh shoot, that actually works a lot. And they were more comfortable with certain situations,
Right.
and they took a lead with helping out with the transitions and stuff like that. And a few of them came up to me. They'll reach out and be like, hey, well, this person's doing a lot of work here. If they need help, I'm here on standby. And so we always had like a plan B in there. So we always had structure, and then I had my not my older guys, but my more experienced guys kind of be the big brothers, big sisters to kind of help with the newer people who were still transitioning and figuring it out. So
Yeah.
Well, I just remember with like Doug, like he was more of just like a yell and be aggressive and angry coach, and he's just like, that's just what we're doing, and wouldn't listen. And I remember there were things that I would see, like I remember the first match, and I was like, I'm faster than them at front squats on the mirror. Like I can go fast. Like I tested it. We all tested it. I'm the fastest one. And he had like Nicole in. And I was like, but I'm faster. Like, well, I'm just saying because like she was taller and I was short and stocky, and like front squat was my best thing.
Right.
And I was like, I'm a better front squatter, and he's just like didn't want to hear, just kept dismissing it. And then like the team got together at one point because I was like, guys, I can do that and these other things, I can do it faster, I promise. Like to where, sorry.
1 second.
Like to where we had to like sit down and like we did a thing without the coach even there, and we like I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that.
And we
Oh, I
had
remember.
like I remember Nick ran it, and he had like all of us like go head to head on like front squats, on this, on that, and they videoed all of it and they sent it to Doug, and they're like, we need to make changes, and then we did. So I just remember that, and I remember towards the end of the season like Doug having a hard time like maybe like coming up with some idea, strategizing that where we sat down and we're like, let's figure it out. Or even with like Steve a little bit sometimes, if Danny was the one that was helping coach that day and Steve wasn't there, he would get flustered sometimes. So a lot of us as players would sit down and we're like, let's do this, and we would map it out and just bring it to Danny. We're like, can we try this? So I remember that having to happen a lot, and the way that Doug tried to run it, and I didn't want to be like that, and I liked having them come together. And a lot of them have trained together, like even without me, like in practices, if we couldn't get everybody together, 5 or 6 of them would sometimes get together at another gym, and they would run through different things of like, whatever, and they'd run like their own practice. So, and that's when they'd come up with ideas and send them to me. So that was part of it too, was like allowing them to kind of get creative with certain things and come to me too, and not always just like, no, this is how we're doing it. Because I just remember that from my experience with the regular pro grid.
yeah, ours was tough because the majority of our athletes, they were spread out all over the place.
Yeah.
So again, we have one girl from Delaware that traveled every week.
Right.
I'm like, you just need to get a Florida driver's license. She was here more here than she was up there. Then we had people in Ocala, we had people in St. Pete, some people in Tampa, and then a mix all over in Orlando. So we're trying to find time to practice. It was tough. So it was like a lot of videos. I'm like, guys, just send me all the videos. Please send me videos.
Right.
I don't know what you guys can do well
Right.
if I was just so I can have an idea. So we weren't able to test a lot of things, and we're usually walking through it like the day before just so they know the flow about like, look,
That's
guys.
what we did the morning of.
Exactly. Like,
Morning
it may
of.
not happen like this, but we still.
My favorite thing about the sport is that, you just explain some similarities, some dramatic differences in how you've approached the team. But the team experience, the team performance is such a collection of variables related to mental preparation, physical performance, communication. All of those things are so vital. And an athlete's mentality is literally half of their performance, and we've seen instances all season where players don't perform up to their capacity, or something happens to where, it was clearly something in their mentality that was the roadblock. And that's what I love about the sport, is that is so important. And when it comes to the team mentality and how everybody feels about the team and how committed they are and how excited they are and whether or not they try things and do it or not, or don't really care, that comes from the leadership, but it also comes from who you have on your team. And so, the approach is a huge part of it. Who you have on your team is a huge part of it. The process is a huge part of it. So all of those things are like variables that you have to control to get an outcome that is what makes it so interesting. And that is very much like football, right? Or another team sport that you guys both have experience in, which is, I don't think is a mistake why you're good at leading your teams. But the dimension of having men and women as a part of that whole experience together is really what sets everything above, the interest level. So my main point in asking all of that is like when we're able to get to the sport where there is a highest level and you are competing on a stage and you have all of the variables that are the reasons you guys are involved now, like you can see how intensely awesome that's going to be, and like just, you know, something that I believe can really truly impact the world, obviously. I didn't mean to even get into that, but that's just interesting to like talk to you guys and hear about this. So I know you both have stuff to get back to, and I don't want to keep that anymore. So thank you for taking the time.
Day,
I know. That's why
Get some coffee and just like keep talking.
I really could too.
It's like
I
our
love
podcast.
But thank you guys.